Right, so this is our work Hilux. At the moment, we've obviously got a base from it, and as you know, with these later software numbers, the power is significantly higher than the earlier IR cars. Like even the boost maps have got significantly higher numbers. Like you can pretty much put a tune off this software. If you copied over the maps to the earlier ones, you'd probably get 20-30 horse gain straight off the bat. So what I had done on this one is I've had an eye-out stroker pump for a while, because when you'd get, you know, on a bad one, you can probably get 125 milligrams per stroke before it gets a little bit flaky kind of thing. So I've put the stroker pump on and it's already at 140 and it just holds solid. So we're at about 580 Newton meters at the tyres, and we've just been measuring restrictions and pressure drops and all sorts of bits and pieces like that. I did manage to find inside the actual inlet manifold design thing that we've removed a huge restriction from. I don't know how we haven't picked up on that, because I have done decarbs and had the inlets off these IR ones in the past, but the stroker pump's definitely doing its thing. We need to get probably a little bit more air density. I've got a big intercooler to go on it and a few bits and pieces, and we will see how far we can get to with that. So I really just want to see what the potential is on the injectors, and have a bit of a play with the duration window and bits and pieces like that. And you're fairly out of turbo at around that 2 bar 30 pound. We might see if we can open the vane set a little bit more on the top end and have a little bit more of a to-do with that. Yeah, so we're going to test a set of 30s on the stock setup and see if there's much more in it from that once we've done our intercooler and done a bit more testing on the airbox and the intakes to the turbos and stuff like that. It's quite interesting. We found, like on the 300 series, we managed to get a massive pipe through the inner guard, and we reduced the restriction to the turbo when we measured it by 50%, and it had no reflection on power gains. So we will do a lot of things and do a bit of testing on that, but I see a lot of guys and they'll make products and you can go spend 1,500 bucks on an intake or something like that, and then you test it back to back and it gives you 0 horsepower. So we're really keen to see where we can actually pick up power so you're getting good bang for buck. As I said with the stroker pumps, if you're not meeting target on your rail pressure, then it has a direct reflection of how the injector duration or how long the injector is open. So as far as that goes, it's just there for reliability. Picture filling up a balloon and putting more holes in it, you need a bigger air compressor to keep the air in, so that's a real watered down version of what you're seeing there. So yeah, keen to have a bit more of a play. Obviously the manual to the auto thing, you're going to make a lower power figure on the auto. There's more converter slip and stuff like that, and we are going to do the valve body on this. We're kind of at that point, you know, with the 6 speeds they're not super strong, and we're knocking on 600 Newton meters at the tyres, and I don't want to have a gearbox full of neutrals, so we will get that done ASAP, because I know that that's pretty well the Achilles heel on these, and the Isuzus it's probably the weakest link, should I say, as far as if you lean on them too hard and you get too much slip, you're going to generate a lot of heat and end up with a lot of fritted clutch packs. So we'll get that done ASAP, probably next week as well. And I'm interested to see, obviously, if that has a direct reflect back-to-back on power. I mean, I've done a lot of those valve bodies. I know they're needed, like you can feel the flare and the slip when you start to lean on the tune real hard, but I'm real keen to like drive it off the dyno, change it and drive it back on the same day, just to see, hey, you're actually getting 7 horse more on the top end and 20 Newton meters, because there's not as much slip there. So that kit that we do use oversides a lot of galleries, there's a lot of springs that get upgraded. So yeah, it does seem to get an awesome result.